Who is Glyn Delany, and when did you get into real estate, and why?
Why? That's a good question, Colin. Look, let's start off with talking about what I did before I got into real estate, which a lot of people around know that I was a golfer, a professional golfer at times. So, played golf in New Zealand for 6 years, went out and played professional golf, was supported by a number of local people to have a crack at my dream, if you like. Mm-hmm. Had some pretty cool results travelling around Australia, Asia, up to Canada. It was a good time of my life. Got to a point in my playing golf career, you could say, where I needed more money to go further afield. That wasn't possible coming from little old Nelson. So took the hard step to come back and leave my playing career behind, and came back to actually being the professional at the Motueka Golf Club. And I was the professional there under the wing of Ken Allen, who was my coach at the Nelson Golf Club, and he looked after me while I was the pro at Motueka for 3 years. Loved my time there, good people out there at Mott. After 3 years there, jumped across to Nelson Golf Club, where I became the teaching professional. So instead of running the whole shop and doing everything, I was basically just full-time teaching. Teaching 40 to 50 golf lessons a week, which was quite intense, from all levels, from beginners to budding professionals, you could call them. Yep. That was good fun, obviously, helping people get better, hopefully. Yep. And then after 2 years of doing that full time, then went and we actually swapped roles. Ken and I swapped roles. Ken became the teaching pro and I became the head pro, and started the brand Total Golf, which is still running today, which was quite cool.
So you actually started that?
I started
brand.
that, yeah.
I didn't realise that until right now.
Well, you're learning things today, Callum. That's good, buddy. So ultimately was the head pro at the Nelson Golf Club, along with the director of golf for, I think it was just on 8 years. And then I actually furthered my education in the golfing field and did a diploma of golf management, and then had aspirations to, manage and run a resort somewhere. Mm-hmm. Part of that stepping stone, I applied for the manager's role and had some vision for the Nelson Golf Club, which unfortunately at that time the board didn't see on the same page as what I could see what the potential was for that golf club. Yeah. So they employed another person for that role. And after being under that wing for probably about 6 months, I could just see it wasn't fitting what I wanted to do. Yeah. So I was a bit of crossroads, wanted to still obviously be in my passion, which was golf, but it wasn't happening. So Alistair Nalder, who is the proud owner of Summit Real Estate, obviously.
He's a good man.
Alistair. He's a good man. And Alistair was actually one of my main sponsors when I was playing professionally. So we've always had quite a close relationship. He approached me, or we both approached each other, you could say. Yeah. And he said, "Hey, Glyn, come and give real estate a crack. I think you might go all right."
Yep.
So it's coming up 6 years ago. It was just over 6 years ago. How time flies. Yep. That I took that plunge and got into real estate. Cool. I must say at that time it was quite a daunting prospect. Yep. Going from a job where it was easy to a point, it was my passion, I knew it backwards, jumping into a role where I didn't really know a hell of a lot about. Yep. The unknown of obviously income. I've got a family, got a lovely wife, Kelly, and then my 3 girls, Shannon, Taylor and Jordan. And I had a mortgage and I had no income all of a sudden.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you could call that motivation though, right?
It is, and it was similar for me getting into real estate, obviously that big risk, but yeah. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people struggle with, taking that leap of faith, and obviously you took that. Yeah. You must have had some confidence in what Alistair had said to you about your skills and that sort of thing. What were your thoughts when he approached you? Did you think you would be able to do it? Did you have any idea? Did you feel like you're a natural salesperson?
I see myself as a people's person. Yep. I love chat, as everyone knows.
Yes, you do.
I'm normally going to be told to be quiet rather than to speak up. So I didn't have any problems with that side of things, and I see there's a lot of synergies between, you know, what I was doing at the golf club to real estate. You know, at the end of the day, we're helping people through a transaction.
Yep.
You know, in real estate, it's obviously selling or buying their biggest asset or their home, where in golf it was trying to break down the frustration of hitting a little white ball, which a lot of people, it became quite tough for them, and it can be emotionally quite damaging for a lot of people as well. So it's just helping people in a different way. So I didn't have any issues with that. I guess the thing that always hung around the back of my mind was the unknown of potential income, having the family and the mortgage and those sort of things. But I use that as motivation and drive to succeed.
It's your why.
It's my why.
Your family. Your family is your why, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and I guess being a professional athlete, you've got to be a driven person.
Yep.
So you like to succeed.
Yes. Very competitive.
You could say that.
Yeah.
So ultimately, when I got into real estate, I think it's pretty well known within our company anyway that, you know, for the first 4 to 6 months, I didn't actually earn any money.
Yep.
All right, but I worked my butt off.
Yep.
Setting up processes, working on pipeline, using my database of people that I knew. And I must say that, you know, the golfing fraternity, if you want to call them that, have been very, very good to me.
Been very supportive.
Very supportive.
Yep.
And if they haven't listed their house with me or bought a house through me, they've referred me, and now you obviously as well, to friends and clients of theirs to do transactions. So, I can't thank the golfing fraternity enough, to be fair.
I think that's also a reflection on how you treated people before real estate. Because a lot of salespeople and that, they're often having those conversations maybe with a bit of commission breath, maybe because they want, a sale at the end of it. Whereas I feel like you've probably done all your prospecting. We'll talk about prospecting later, but, getting to know people and building trust over the many years before you started. And so when you actually got a few sales and that fraternity could see that, hey, this guy can actually sell real estate and get us a great result, and then naturally they're coming to you because you've built trust, friendships well before actually getting into it.
I think you're dead right. The trust from the whole of the Nelson community have watched me grow up from a schoolboy at Nelson Boys College, through my golfing career as an amateur, through professional ranks, and then back to both Motueka and Nelson golf clubs. There's a lot of people that have seen me, grow up to a point. They know my name. They don't know me as a person. Some people may think they do, but not that many people do.
I'll let you know that I had never heard of you before I met you at that.
It's because you're too bloody young, mate. It's because you're too young, son. I'm old enough to be your dad, but that's okay. Look, it's been really good for my real estate career, and look, like I said, I can't thank the golfing fraternity enough. And now I've been in real estate now for 6 years. Man, that time has just flown by. From those first 4 to 6 months where I thought, what the hell am I doing, to now thinking, why didn't I do this earlier? It's been a huge change. And Alistair's been very much a backer of mine through my golfing career and now into real estate, and has given me all these opportunities, which I can't thank him enough for.
And I think that's the thing, is it's, people see us at open homes and see the little bit of the glamour of it, etc., but they don't necessarily see the onion being peeled back and what goes in behind the scenes and who the people actually are. And certainly my experience meeting yourself, Alistair, these people, they're such good people, and they want us all to succeed. And that's what I've found quite beautiful about, working with you, with Team Delany Summit, and Alistair as a leader. Is there's just some really good people involved in this industry, which is not necessarily what
people in the public
may think. And so, I think it's a credit to Summit and all those sorts of things. But I guess I had one question you sort of elaborated on a little bit before is those skill transfer. What do you think is the main skill that you've brought from golfing that's made you to be so successful in real estate? What would you say is the number one thing?
The number one thing. It's hard to put one thing on that.
Yeah, okay.
But I think the big thing would be just to treat people how I want to be treated.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a flashy person by any stretch of the imagination. Look, I go to work in a golf polo still because my mind's still...
Yeah, I saw you put that on this morning and I was like, I'm overdressed.
But this is how I roll, you know that. So it's like, you know, I just want to be a real person. I'm not going to get flashed up in a $1,000 suit because that's not me. I don't drive the flashiest car because that's not me.
It's not Nelson either,
nah,
to be fair,
yeah,
for the most part.
I think the synergies with golf is just that honesty and integrity thing. Yeah. You know, that's how golf is, and that's what I have brought to real estate in my mind, is that just to be honest with people, do the right thing by people, and just treat people how I want to be treated, which is just like a normal human being. Yeah, and don't pressurize people into doing things they don't want to do. Yeah, you know, there's people out there that are pressure. That's not me. It's not you, obviously. Yeah. You know, if I'm putting pressure on someone, then it makes me feel sick.
Yeah.
You know.
I think we're quite similar in that regard, and there's a way of closing a deal without putting pressure on people.
Without a doubt.
And saying, you know, crossing out their offer and saying that's not good enough.
Yeah.
Give us your real offer. You know, you're never gonna get their trust later on, even if they go through with a deal. They're not ever gonna want to talk to you again.
No.
And there's some people that works for, but doesn't work for us. But I feel definitely from the first time I met you, it was about building a relationship and a friendship quickly. And although you're working for the vendor, of course, if you can build that relationship with the buyer, when you get to that negotiation table, if you've got that trust with them, they're more likely to listen to you as a friend.
Yes.
And you go, look, I'm your friend. I want you to get this house. I think you should pay a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you're going to increase your chances.
Well, it is that trust, isn't it? And you got to build that trust.
Yeah.
You got to earn the trust.
Yeah.
And we have built trust and earned trust through a number of different transactions. And you know, before we teamed up, you know, when I was working, you know, on myself with my other assistants, that ultimately it was a matter of do the right thing by people, and that was just our mantra, really. And you know, it's the way we roll.
Yep,
it's good.